All right, welcome back. This is Black Lodge Trivia Night. We're going to continue our run through Darklands. It's a little bit of an odd time to stream, but I've got a little bit of free time, so I figured I would spend it doing this instead of doing something probably that I could be far more productive. Should I be thinking about my 401k? No. Should I be trying to figure out how I'm going to pay for college for my kids? No time. I've got important things to do. And so, if you remember last time, we took down a mine. And I was very excited because it's something I tried to do before. I had very little success the first time. And it was good to see how it all played out. And so then what I decided to do, I had a little free time the other day. And I was like, you know what, let me do some grinding because I knew there were some things I needed to do. And it actually ended up being a really great session. Basically, I spent a lot of time around Aiken, assuming I'm not totally butchering that. What do I need to do? Time doesn't pass when you stand still. So, basically, I did a bunch of quests. I, recovered some items, killed a Rowbritter, and I made a lot of money. I was up, well, maybe not a lot, but I was up over like 20,000 florins. So I spent that money to finally start getting some like solid plate mail because I realized Eckhard was dealing with like level 10 plate. So I got him some good stuff. Seacard. I guess, I think they're both fully decked. Equipment. Plate armor 34. Okay, so, that's pretty good. Eckhard. Equipment 34. I rescued another caravan so that Sigurd ended up with a 43 quality longsword, so I've gone back to sword and shield. I think I stepped up Henri. So I was sort of looking at how weapons have different impact values and realized my spear that I was using with Henri didn't have a great impact, so I switched him to a flail, a one-handed military flail of 38 quality from Nuremberg, I think. Oh, no, not from Nuremberg. There's a town not too far from Nuremberg that has 38 weapons, but not 38 armor. And it starts with a P. Paderhorn. It's one of those. The font's really tiny. I didn't want to blow up the map. Anyway, so I did like some bookkeeping like that. So Henri's working with a flail. Is it impact? It's not great. Whatever it is, it's pretty low. So, we're getting by. We've been chased down a number of times by the wild hunt. And you know what? Honestly, since that total party kill, the one time I managed to fend him off. So I was working on a quest that was going on that cave right there. We're south of Koblenz, I guess. Let's see if we can figure out where that is. Let's see. I guess I need to know because I need to know where I'm going. Koblenz is B5. Okay, so there's B5. So we're right there. And on my way up, sorry, one sec. I just stumbled across like a little hut that had a witch in it. I, did what I had to do with the witch's hut. And she gave me the next time and place for the Satanic Gathering, which is when I stopped and realized, okay, let's see if we can get this back going on a stream. So we're trying to get to northwest of, let me see what, Groningen. Okay, so we're in Koblenz. We need to get northwest of Groningen by Halloween. So it's currently September 10th. And we have until October 31st to get from here to somewhere up here. So I'm going to abandon whatever I'm supposed to be getting from this cave, and I'm just going to go for it. So here we are, and we need to get up here. So I'm just going to go for it and hope for the best. And figured, you know what, let's see if we can get a little bit of this on stream if I get lucky. Because the trick I've been having is, how do I have a location that's near enough that I can actually get to. Okay, I'm trying to do whatever the, sometimes I sneak away. I might stop doing that because that takes time. I don't know if fighting takes as much time. I have no idea, but I can tell you, where am I? Okay, so this is that. Okay. Again, like I said, even the wild hunt has been getting a little easier. Henri, go up there. You guys take the other spider. So I'm hoping we get lucky this time and manage to figure out this next step. Now, Henri took a beating, or maybe were they already hurt? I lost track of what was going on. Still have not found the ability to craft Essence of Grace potions. But hopefully... But I have had, when I had the windfall of money, I did buy a couple, but they're like $700-800 each, so... what else did I do? I did some training. I got some religion, speak Latin boosted. Still hasn't helped me get into universities yet, so again, I'm not quite sure what's going on. Let me just double check what town I am south of. South of Kulm. Okay, so I need to keep going northwest to Kempen or Kemper. So let's do that. Then after that, north to... Again, let's see. So I don't necessarily want to attack them. At the same time, they want to... I wonder what happens if you don't have a female member in your party. Because they always want Sigrun to come with them. Okay, so we're going to fight these guys. Which I don't mind if it gives Henri a chance to get better at... let's see, who's that? Let's have 4 go north, and then everybody else deal with the crowd. Looks like Henri's getting chased by the main... That's not how I want it to go. I didn't want these two to be the ones that were outnumbered. But hopefully they can dispatch this guy quickly and then come back down and help. Trying something new. Just let me just sort of double check it. So one of the things I realized is that you can build some of the stuff you need on Twitch into OBS. And okay, there we go. I just want to make sure it was all working. Anyway, so, but I don't know if it tells you how many... I'm still trying to figure out some of the interface when you're only using OBS. Okay, so is Sighard? Yeah, he's my pack mule. Okay, again, slowly but surely, Henri's going to get better with that flail. It's tough because like with other stuff, he was like 70 or 80 skill level. So this is going to be a little bit of a downgrade. Let's see if we can talk to our way. Usually we have been able to recently, but let's see what they say. Yeah. Okay, so again, let's keep going. We got to get north as fast as possible. Let's double check the town we're at just to make sure I'm going the right way. We are Kempen. Okay, so now we need to keep going straight north. You know what I should do? I should save it. I'm not entirely sure how much I can take care of this morning in this stream, but I'm hoping to at least take a crack at the satanic ritual. I really appreciate that, my work doesn't start until slightly later in the morning. I like, everybody's out of the house for a little bit. Okay, so this is going to be, it just gives me a little bit of time to just, take a, all right, Xanten, all right. And now we're going to head northwest to Nijmegen. Usually what I do is I do actually take care of stuff, but, we'll see how it goes. Okay, we're back to an alchemist. So it's not letting me trade. I don't know why. Or am I just not paying attention and I'm giving away potions? Maybe that was the problem. Where am I now? Okay, Nijmegen. So now we want to cut north up to Deventer, or however you say it. What was the date? I wasn't looking. September 29th. Okay, we got a little bit over a month. And we're getting close. So maybe we'll have a shot at this one. Now, is this Zvol? Is that actually the town name? Deventer. Okay, now we want to keep heading north. It looks like, again, like the... Interesting that boosted his missile device. Okay, so let's see. Party info, October 7th. Zwol. I don't know if, I thought Zwol was German for 12. Maybe it's Zwolf. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe it's got an F in there or something. Hey, Matt, how you doing? So, yeah, I'm testing out how to do everything from OBS, so it's kind of cool to see that the chat function carries over. And I don't need to leave my browser open, artificially inflating my viewers by one. Let's give them some money. So, yeah, Matt, you're jumping in. The reason why I decided to stream this morning is I was doing a little bit the other day, and I came across another time and place for Satanists, so I figured I'd jump on that and see what's here. You come across a small glade in the forest. Here, a clear, sweet spring feeds a small brook. Nearby, an old oak shelters a small lean-to. The clearing looks quiet, peaceful, and deserted. I don't think I've encountered this yet. The spot is beautiful and peaceful, but you find nothing of interest or value. Okay. The lean-to's half filled with dried leaves. There's cannot even find a scrap of cloth. Even the small fire circle once uncovered reveals nothing more. Oh yeah, the music in this game. I'm gonna wait a little bit, even though I probably shouldn't. Okay, just squirrels. The music in this game, I don't know if it gets too repetitive east of Zwol. Okay, so we need to keep heading north. It never bothered me. I always kind of liked it, but I also realized half the time I tune it out. I don't know if other people have to turn the music off entirely because it's too too irritating. But one thing that has happened with a couple of these videos when I don't talk for a while is we get a copyright notice on YouTube. Let's see. Hail good Christians. I think if we can either get robbed or we can pay to. So here's what I'm going to do. Usually I would pay to a saint, pray to a saint. Freudian slip there. Pray to a saint. And expose this guy for being a fraud. But I want to have my divine favor for whatever I'm coming up to. So I'm going to pay him the money. But yeah, YouTube, but then it'll be like a copyright thing, but it's like, hey, don't worry about the copyright because, you know, there's nobody to like uphold the copyright. So then I started to like Google because it tells you what the name of the track is. It's actually surprising. And the music is all basically, let's see, party info, October 19th. We have 12 days to Halloween and we are where we need to be. So I'm going to save it. And so I started Googling what the music was, and it's old, like medieval music. It's actual songs from the period, I think. It's not the 14th. What am I doing? 16th, 23. So I thought that was kind of cool. Like this song in particular is, okay, so we're trying to get northwest. That might be it. As we've come to the northern coast of Germany here. You know, it even labels these, is it that or what is it that? I'm guessing it's that, but I don't know. And I missed it. Okay, so I'm going to reload. I'm sitting here talking like an idiot. And it's now November 1st. Okay, so let's reload. Yes, loading is irreversible. Okay, we're looking for 16th. Let's delete some of these. And we want this one right here. Okay, so, or do I travel super slowly because it's a swamp? That might be it. And so I'm screwing this up. Okay, still got 6 days to get around the horn here. As you wander through the wilderness here, you notice a darkness over the land that you'd not seen before. The trees aren't dead, but they are twisted and strange. There are birds and animals, but they are black, foul beasts with harsh cries and fearful yellow eyes. Though you see no fires, there is scattering of ash. The smell of smoke is heavy in the air. What day is it? Okay, I'm early. Investigate further. Your party splits up and combs the land for clues as to what has taken place here. You find fire-blackened stones and no evidence of battle, but otherwise investigations are fruitless. So let's leave here at once. I'm going to just spend a little time walking up and down and see if we can hit it again. Here we go. I have actually done it. From the top of a low hill, you see a huge clearing in the wilderness ahead, occupied by nearly 100 people. A small stream runs through the southern end of the clearing, and thin strands of wood smoke rise from a vast ring of campfires surrounding the open area. That's goddamn right. It's spooky season all over again, Matt. You're right. From this distance, it looks like a country fair, except that a palpable aura of evil. I don't know. I feel like county fairs. No, not really. Hangs over the proceedings. You see a steady trickle of travelers on a well-worn path leading to the clearing. You, ellipses. Seek an encounter with a group of travelers. Enter the fair on your own. Let's see if we can... Working your way quickly but quietly down the hill, you arrive at the path ahead of a group of cloaked pilgrims coming up from the south. You then stand and wait. I'm terrible at talking, fast talking, but that's the approach I'm going to take. 4 travelers come up the path towards you. They examine you with suspicious eyes as you stand before them. What would you, travelers? Asks a heavy-set man wearing an extravagant red robe. I'm going to say something enigmatic about seeking darkness. That seems to be just what the strangers hoped you'd say. They smile and greet you politely, asking what city you, I guess, hail from, but there's missing an L, I don't know. And other trivialities, carefully neutral in your response as you accompany them on their way to the field. I don't know. I feel like Satan needs to lock down security. Passphrase, a secret handshake. You and your newfound companions, well, that's a strong word, follow the path toward one of the many watchfires circling the great field. The four strangers walk confidently toward a dangerous-looking wolf standing by the fire. One by one, they extend their hands to the wolf's snout. It sniffs each in turn, but does not react in any way. Yeah, so I'm going to let the wolf sniff my hand. I have a feeling I don't have a saint. Dear Lord, help us now in our time of infiltrating a satanic circle. Everybody's looking at you like, something might be up with it. Is that guy a cop? Okay, I think we're gonna follow suit, but the wolf is gonna the wolf is gonna sniff us out. I realize. You realize that you must go with what you started if you don't want to arouse overwhelming suspicion. Nervously, one by one, you present your hands to the sentry wolf, who sniffs each of you in turn. It has no apparent reaction. Okay. Satan needs to hire better. Like, it's just it's a slipshod operation, Satan. Suddenly the wolf, okay, here we go, stiffens as it sniffs the hand of Seacard. A low growl escapes its throat, and the fur on the back stands on end. The travelers eye you warily, and at least one hand furtively steals to a weapon. You are not initiated, the man in red says dangerously. Why is this? You reply, we brought a friend. He's a good cook. I'm not choosing that option. I'm going to choose as for this we have come. Let's see what they say. Your response brings dubious looks from your traveling companions. Has your town no cult officiates? Has your town no cult officiate sent from the fortress? Asks one. No. The four strangers converse among themselves. Well, very well, said the man in red. Make sure you go soon to the initiations. He nods to the wolf, and the beast lets you pass. The others point vaguely in the direction of the stream, then hurry off to their own business, leaving you in the middle of the field. You stand in the middle of the field, viewing the activities taking place here near the stream at the south end of the field. There is a satanic mockery of baptism. To the west, witches are riding broomsticks into the sky. To the north, cooks are preparing a feast for the assemblage. And to the east, a large altar is being pieced together. You wander toward a shady grove to waste some time. Do we want mockery of a baptism, broom riding witches, or I want to check out the altar. Well, let's check out the ritual just first of all. It's been so long since I've actually seen any of this. You approach the stream and note a small line of people waiting for a man dressed in dirty black robes. He's dunking each participant in turn. Over the sound of the running water, you can hear the dark words the man is speaking, and hear the giggling of the participants. It is clear that this is a satanic mockery of a holy ritual. Now, the chances of me convincing the people here of their utter horror is probably, get in line. I'm down. I'm going to leave the area for now because I want to check out the altar. Someone calls the wait's not long after you, but you hurry away. We're strolling nonchalantly away from the field. Let's go check out I have a bad feeling about this feast preparation, but let's check it out. An aging crone wearing an apron and a cook's cap approaches you with a toothless grin. "You here to help?" she asks. You reply, "Yeah, we're ready to help. Let's see what they say." Smacking her lips, she leads you to the cook pots. You can prepare the meat. But the way she says meat sends chills down your spine. Sure enough, she shows you to the preparation table where innocent ones bawl in fear. "Took them afore they were baptized," the woman cackles. "Get to work, wash them, and so forth." She leaves, and you... Okay, so here's... interesting. One of the options is to quickly baptize them. Again, like Darklands covering a lot of bases. Now, I guess I'm too much of a cretin to actually have that option available, but let's call upon a saint for aid. Let's see what we can do here. This is why I wanted to save my divine points. So we've got Devota and Eustace. Let's see what they can do under these circumstances. Devota heals endurance, heals strength, and charisma bumps up. Eustace, better edge, better throw, better bow, better ride, better woodwise. I'm going to go with Devota just to bump up my charisma in case I can talk my way out of something here. So let's give myself some more chance of success. I'm going to go with 90 because I'm going to go all in on this rescue because I feel like they're trying to eat kids. So I feel like there's some few things in life you can take a hard stand on. And eating unbaptized kids is probably one of them. So let's pray. Your fervent prayers are given extra power by the need of the subjects. Oh, interesting. As you finish, a small dark figure steps into your midst speaking Latin. Gentle, she whispers, for you to see that it is a young maiden with a pure face. I heard your words and know that you are good people. I came into the witches' gathering to rescue these defenseless ones from the feast. Now I am overwhelmed with fear. Can you help me? Your duties here are too important for you to be able to believe, but you help the maiden disguise the innocent ones, escort her to the edge of the great field, and see her safely on her way. Miraculously, none of the witches take notice of these events. Godspeed, whispers the maiden. Fear not, I will find my way back to the village. She disappears into the darkness. Little bump in virtue for that. Trying to look nonchalant, you stroll away from the feast preparation area. In all the hustle and bustle, no one seems to have noticed as you move away toward the center of the field. So we're back in the middle. I just want to see... Okay, we're dealing with like a 44 charisma. I don't know why. Probably because he's the leader. Okay, so while I have a 44 charisma, can I talk to other people about stuff? We've cleared the feast preparation. Let's go back to the water ritual and see if we can convince people of what's going on. We begin to speak about the Lord and about the evil of Satan and witchcraft. They're hostile and prepare to attack, and you see with dismay that your words are having no effect. The man in black cries, unbelievers, slay them. Okay, I guess it's... might be a bit on. I'm hoping these guys aren't too tough, but we'll see how it goes. And now I'm wondering if this alerts the whole thing, or if it's isolated. Wow, there's a lot of them. Or if it's isolated enough where, like, you know, what's going on in the stream can't be heard by what's going on by the broom witches, etc., etc. This guy seems to have a different outfit going on. Sort of more like a... These guys just look like normal henchmen, but let me see. Enemy info. Occultist, okay. And then followers. So not too bad overall. You know, Henri was already wounded, so I don't think he's taking extra damage. Maybe we're losing a little stamina, but that'll bounce back. What time is it? Okay. All right. Found a little cache, and we're going to pick up... What are we picking up? Seacard. Falchions, leather, clothing, military flails, cuir boulet, and padded armor. Good enough. I was really hoping Henri would get a bump, but oh well. You lay about you with your weapons, not expecting the attack. The participants flee, shrieking, or fall. You realize you must leave here quickly to avoid bringing the entire Sabbat down around you. Seacard picks up the cap of the black-robed man, and you melt back into the crowd. You stroll nonchalantly away from the stream. No one pays you much notice. It'd be interesting if they gave you the option to... That's right, I just take them all down, baby. I've gotten pretty good at... I said this once before, like, oh, most things walking over land don't bother me, and then I got wrecked and total party killed by the wild hunt. But most of the time, it is not too bad. To the west, witches are... You know, I know they're making a sequel to Gladiator. You know, Matt says, am I watching Gladiator or Darklands? And I was trying to remember, you know, my kids are a little older, and I was like, oh, I remember liking that as an action movie, but I can't remember just how brutal some of the fights were. So I'm not sure. I mean, hell, I've probably shown them much worse already. So we've taken care of the feast preparation, the water ritual. What's going on with the broom riding? There's been a man following you for some time now, a darkly dressed man with a broad-brimmed cap pulled low over his face. You notice him only peripherally at first, but now he steps up to you. You get a close look at his face, and it is not pleasant. Aside from being quite ugly, it is twisted with hatred. I've been watching you, he whispers hoarsely. I think you're up to something. Don't think you can get away with it. You? Do I still have the charisma going on? I do. Do I use that to roll the dice? Or do I risk the fact that maybe he's like an undercover cop and we could team up? I'm going to proclaim innocence. You explain gently that the man he's mistaken, but he'll have none of it. I know what I see, he mutters, moving off. You go your own way, but you know that you must be more careful. Your suspicious activities have not gone unnoticed. So the total bloodbath is, I guess, the suspicious activities. Yeah, so Matt mentions, he brings up a good point. Like this is, it's a bit different than older games at the time, like King's Quest, where you had to have the right answer or you risk getting locked out or losing the whole game. And I think that's why I never actually got into those kinds of adventure games, because one, it was often a either yes or no, and if no, you're done. And two, sometimes I found what you needed to do to get the yes to be too obtuse. And since this was in the days before the internet, I couldn't just go Google it and be like, and so it gets super frustrating sometimes. And it's what I really enjoy about games like this, and it's done even more so. Or Matt says, or they were just straight out broken. Yeah, that was also sometimes true. But that's what I've always appreciated about games like this, and especially if people have not played Planescape Torment. It was an Infinity Engine game. It's D&D. It's a Planescape game. What else? The old Fallout games, Fallout 1 and 2. All these games, if you were to pump points into like dialogue option skills, especially Planescape Torment, like don't even bother with the fighting stuff. Just go like intelligence, charisma, which is nothing I would ever do. The breadth of options you get for dialogue and talking your way through things, it's really fascinating. Or, oh man, it's the same. Oh, there was a spy game, a spy RPG, Alpha Protocol. The action parts of that are a little janky, and a little janky. They could be a lot janky, but that's another one where, the way you could talk your way into different paths on puzzles is a little nuts. Okay, you approach the gathering and note a line of people waiting to ride each of the unholy steeds. Okay, this is the broomsticks. Okay. I'm just going to skip ahead. Strange ointment before they mount. They chant arcane phrases and soar into the air. This is clearly a vicious mockery of a certain saintly power. I'm not going to take my turn on the broomstick. I am going to try and talk to them while I still have the bump in charisma. I assume it's going to go poorly and end up in a fight. There we go. Okay, so there's going to be... Let me just see if it's sort of the same cultist follower. Yeah, okay. So let's just miss entirely to... you know what? Let him come to me. I kind of expected... Well, I'm not sure what I expected. The cultist... Looks like he's got a flail. Something's dangling from a chain there. So, I've mentioned a number of times here on Podcast Trivia Night the game Deus Vult. And one of the things about that is, like we have the power of saints in alchemy, right? Let's get some clubs. Let's just pick up everything. We picked up a little cash. But I would expect the cultists to have some kind of power. Well, it's hard to say, right? Deus Vult, the enemies get sorcery, like the black magics, the stuff that would be, that would be heresy and stuff like that. Here, they haven't been doing much. It's just straight up fist fights. Okay. Your foes are vicious and satanic, experience which is only the power of your righteousness allowed you to triumph. Having now created more of a disturbance than you've liked, you quickly leave the area. And I don't know how Deus Vult wants you to run the game, but I always run it where, like, I keep a lot of things back. from the players. And because I think they put it into like the GM guide, I sort of assume it's meant to be sort of held back a little bit. So let's see. We're back into the middle. Oh, crap. As you sleep, you dream. In your dreams, a saintly figure approaches you and whispers, "You must discover the location of the fortress, monastery. This is the next step of your quest." You awaken the next morning refreshed and ready for the day. To your surprise, each of you has had the same dream during the night. You must be careful today and keep your ears open. Okay. So this is what... Is there a way to save while I'm doing this? This is the whole point. 11, 16... 11, 16, 23... is we're trying to get the location of this monastery. Now, I don't know if this is the final building or if the monastery then leads you to the like castle of the apocalypse, but it might be like the monastery of the apocalypse. You stand in the middle of the field. Near the stream, the satanic baptism is taking place. To the west, witches are riding broomsticks. Oh, okay. Okay, so we've killed the water ritual. We killed the broomsticks. We dealt with the feast. So let's go to the altar. The altar is now complete, rough stones and black fires burning at the four corners. It resembles a place of death more than a place of worship. The ceremony does not begin for another hour. You and a few other early arrivals are the only ones nearby, aside from a stonemason putting the finishing touches on the altar, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Yeah, so thank you, Animaniac, for jumping into the chat. Yes, Darklands. A bunch of this is up on YouTube. Like, obviously, you can see this is part 15. I've only figured out Twitch for the last couple. But yeah, the whole playthrough's up so far. It's on YouTube if you search Black Lodge Trivia Night. But yeah, Darklands is a game I genuinely and passionately feel like is... I don't know if it's like an overlooked gem. I think people sort of know it, but it never got... I think the attention it deserved. It's partly because of bugs and its own stuff going on. And yeah, so before I went into all this, I did pray to a saint. I forget which one, but it's bumped up my... Oh, I guess it's worn off. I was going to say it bumped up my charisma. I probably should have looked for one that bumped up my... well, I didn't have one that bumped up like my religion or virtue. So yeah, and I've managed to like clear out the witches. I've saved the unbaptized from being served as a meal. So now here's the trick, though. The priest and the stonemason move away briefly. If you're going to do anything, now is your chance. So I could sabotage. I could pray for a saint, even though I'm out of divine points. So I don't think I'm going to be able to move the needle there. Yes, absolutely. Darklands, I feel like, with, the real time with pause combat, that's an obvious influence, and tons of... Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to think of what so I can't do that. I'm trying to decide, do I want to sabotage the ceremony, or does sabotaging the ceremony screw up my chance to figure out where I want to go next? So that's the question. Yeah, Darklands is an early one for me, but it wasn't my first. The first one that really hooked me was Bard's Tale 3. That was my first CRPG. And then Ultima 5 came after that. And then Darklands was like the third big one that really sunk its hooks into me. And Bard's Tale 3 sort of fallen by the wayside, but Ultima 5 and this one really still, have a, sort of like a special place in my memory. I can't call upon a saint. I'm going to attempt a little sabotage and risk it. You step forward swiftly, trying to be as casual as possible. I'm going to fly casual. As you plant bits of scripture in the centers of the pentagrams and place holy symbols beneath the altar block, while muttering small prayers of purification all about the area. Whoops. Unfortunately, in the middle of your activities, the priest and stonemason return, and the eyes goggle. What's this? Trader's help. Okay, let's see what happens. Oh, now it's all cultists. Let's check enemy info. Cultist. Oh, a high witch. The high witch is probably this person here. So let's, nope. Let's see what happens. I gave up on switching back and forth between ranged weapons. I used to have like everybody take a shot with bows, and it's just too much back and forth. So we'll see how it goes. But again, okay, somebody's doing something. That's good. Because I was going to say, like, you know, you would expect high witches and the like to have more power than just melee weapons. So I guess the question is, you know, Animaniac, you mentioned Darklands was your first piece. Yeah, he's taken a few hits. I was just curious, were you able to beat the game at the time? Did you have to go through... Oh, right, they can ruin your armor. Did you have to use the clue book? Did you have trouble with the bugs? And when it ruins your armor, does it just destroy it, or does it like just lower the quality? I guess it makes sense to, yeah, carry extra armor. Now, if Henri goes down with a stamina loss, I'm not too worried about it because he'll just pop back up. But I think we've sort of turned the tide on this one. That's interesting, lower quality. So I'm wondering, I totally forgot about that. So I'm curious what... I'm curious what that did. Fortunately, the battle took place before the main throng arrived. If you move quickly, you know, you can probably blend back in with the crowd. Yeah, let's try it. A bell rings, summoning, mutters a witch, and you see a throng move toward the altar. You wait and wonder what will occur. Oh, that's very nice that you were able to beat it. I think I said in one of the things, my very first time trying to play it, I got really frustrated, and I wasn't quite sure what to do, and I ended up using like a character editor. It's one of my great shames. Now's the time of the summoning. I am Reinhard of the Reinhard of the Great Monastery, and I convene this Sabbat. The crowd roars approval. One fat woman grins and says, "The Great Monastery, isn't that?" Here we go. This is what I needed. This exposition that is clumsily delivered. I am Reinhard of the Great Monastery. Oh, do you mean the Great Monastery that's northwest of Flensburg? That monastery? Yeah, that monastery. Oh, how long did it take to get you? It took me 4 days. Traffic was a beast. Okay, so it's northwest, Great Monastery. Northwest of Flensburg. Now, before we go too much further, let's check out where Flensburg is. I don't remember if we need to... I know, right? Flensburg is where? C1. So it's actually probably not that far away. So yeah, so right now we are northwest of Groningen, and Flensburg is up here. So we need to get to the filthy kingdom of Denmark. Now it's all starting to make sense. Yeah, so, but I don't remember if there is a time pressure or if it's just once you know where it is, that's where it is. I know, right? Denmark doesn't deserve it. But that's how it is. So the question is, from a technical perspective, I never quite understood, like, is the monastery, I assume the monastery can be randomized, its location. But I also attribute a lot to Darklands that maybe it doesn't necessarily do, because in my head, this is such an amazing game. Reply is drowned out. Oh, cool. It is randomized. Thank you, Anna. The ritual begins. The crowd and the priest chant harsh words as a darkness with horns and glowing red eyes. As a darkness with horns and glowing red eyes rises from the altar. You know that if the demon is summoned, the odds of your defeating the witches decrease. But if the Sabbat is to be shattered, you must face and defeat the demon, you. I'm not going to try and escape. I'm not going to allow it to be finished. Henri's at 17, but I do have some health potions. Let me give it a shot. You wait until the witches have performed most of the ceremony. The evil power is almost overwhelming, but you hold out. Finally, the demon rise. I've beaten a demon before, but I feel like this is going to be like a super demon. I challenge thee in the name of the Lord. As though he had called in the loudest voice on earth, the demon screams and the throngs fall silent. You face the demonic form, weapons at the ready. My minions, it says in a voice as dark as night, I shall slay the intruders. Feast on them, hold back, this battle is mine. Okay, so first things first, let's see if we can get Henri a health potion. I don't have a lot, but I do have a couple. Yeah, Matt, so like, I don't know. I feel like old games really did a lot of crazy stuff, you know, and you said, oh, crazy stuff at the time. And it's like, I don't think that's necessarily true. I think just in general, and again, maybe it's because they didn't have to worry so much about like the graphic assets and stuff like that. Just looking at my card here. How to use a potion. Throw a potion. I think it's P. So let's see if Henri. Equipment. I think it's P, so let's see if it works. There we go. All right. He's not on the brink of death. So let's see what happens. Now, I fought literally something that looked like this in another fight, and it wasn't terrible. But again, that was sort of like a local witch's demon. That was just like a local witch's coven, like having a mimosa brunch. But yeah, this game, and what I can't remember with this game, and it's something I might have mentioned in one of the earlier streams, I have no recollection of what was revealed to people going in and what. Let me see if it talks about. Like, because a lot of the time, like, hey, what's the point in the game? Is the game is to go get famous. But I'm trying to remember if there was any hint of what the main quest was in, like, you know, the actual like rule book or something, so you knew to go look. So there you go. We were able to take down this particular demon without too much. The power is too much for the satanic being. With a scream of pure rage, it begins to fragment. Fear them not, my witches, it calls for you. Are many, I have weakened them. Avenge me. And that's not true. With that, the demon vanishes, leaving you to face the angry throng. Okay. Let's see if we can sort of rush. Nope. Sorry. This guy. 3. Get to this person as quick as possible and see what happens. Henri. This might not go well because everybody's getting, like, Henri's doing like about to do 2-on-1. Oh no, Sigrun's about to do 3-on-1. Again, I don't mind if they. These guys are locked in combat, so I don't think I can break them up. I don't mind if they go down because of stamina. Okay, Sigrun's down from stamina. That's fine. Henri's down from stamina. Okay, that's unfortunate, but let's see if my 2 actual fighters can carry the day. My guts say probably not, but maybe I get lucky. This is how I beat the mine. Basically, I had a bunch of people go down, but it was stamina. That card's about to go down. I think I'm going to lose this one. Oh, the flee command. Right. Now, when you say break from combat, like, does that mean, like... I was trying to think, like, okay, so I think I'm going to lose this. I was trying to think of, like, disengaging. I know you can run away off the map, right? Can you... Is flee an actual, like, something that lets you disengage? Oh, yeah, flee toward. Interesting. Okay. So let's see what happens when you lose. I might have to reload. Well, what time is it? 9:34. There's only darkness, small pulses of light like a heartbeat, leering faces, cackling laughs. You feel yourself lifted, and crude hands fumble among your possessions. Then there are intonations that echo like the pealing of a bell. A voice whispers, "Fear not, for they have not the power to slay the righteous out of hand. This is a small comfort for the pain, the wounds, the losses. Finally, it ends. You return to awareness and find yourself lying in the wilderness, cold and hungry. The Sabbat site is empty. You leave as quickly as you can. So, yeah, it's going to go down. I don't know if that's because of the saint. No, I think that's because I failed to stop the Sabbat. So, and now you can see sort of like it's in ruins. But what I want to do, and I apologize, I'm going to reload. I'm curious where it let me save in the middle of, for people that are sort of new to what I'm doing here, I'm not above like save scumming. So there's going to be some of that here. Let me just see what it does when I reload. I'm just going to go straight. We sort of did everything. Let's just go straight for the altar. I'm out of, so let's attempt a little sabotage. It's going to fail. And I think my mistake is splitting up. So even though they're going to throw potions at me, I'm going to, and I guess I should check to see, because when you can sort of like quadruple team somebody, they'll go down fast. I'm kind of curious, how bad is my armor getting? Chainmail. Okay, that's much lower. Yeah, that used to be like 30 something. His armor is, her armor, I should say. I'm sorry. Much lower. That used to be 30. Okay, all right. So I don't know. Obviously, I'm not very good at video games as a whole. I'm not very good at this one in particular. I wonder what's a good tactic. Is the combat sophisticated enough where you actually, I've often compared it to like Icewind Dale, which I think is the best tactical combat of the Infinity Engine games. Yes, Anna, there we go. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I knew it sort of tracked stuff like that. And that, way back, I talked about some of the role-playing games that I heard the designer say inspired this one. Some of those are RuneQuest and Traveler. And I think RuneQuest definitely has mechanics where, if you start circling people, you start jamming them up. Okay, so we're just going to do this really quickly. It's still northwest of Flensburg, but I probably should have read that closer. I'm going to wait for the demon, because again, the demon itself was not too bad. So I'm curious, like, Anna, do you ever jump back in, or did the game have its time and place and there's too many new video games to be able to reload this one? Because I was looking at this and I realized, I put in like 40 hours into this game, which I don't know if I was expecting. Okay, edge weapons getting up there. Healing. Okay, so again, let's not get surrounded this time. So the alchemist is going to be able to take shots. My armor might be shot when this is all said and done. What I considered doing for a little while is just, getting like, after a few sessions, yeah, there's a lot of games to play, yeah. Henri, what are you doing? Okay, so let's see if we can pause, and maybe I have a couple more potions. Let's see if we can do those in combat here. What I kind of have expected is like 6 or 7 sessions in, I started to see a lot of the things over and over. This is Sigrun. And so I started to wonder, like, maybe like, maybe I got enough, if that makes any sense. But then, I realized, but let me see if I can track down the Sabbat and stuff like that. And then that sort of got me down the rabbit hole a little bit. Now I've got other Yeah, so this is the main quest, this sort of, but I don't know how, sort of what I was saying a few minutes ago. I don't know how well it was advertised. How do you throw a potion? I could throw Arabian fire on the throw potion. Let me give that a shot. Sigrun is going to, nope, sorry, I did that wrong. Let's try throw. It's in the combat menu. Yeah. Well, this one's going a little better. I probably shouldn't jinx it as Henri goes down. Okay, so I'm starting to get some advantages down here. So, okay, Henri's down, but that's fine. I think I'm still 3-on-2 down here. And here we go. Right. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah. So I'd have to sort of disengage. Yeah, they were locked. Sigrun was locked in melee. But yeah, so Matt, to what I was saying, like, you know, the game definitely advertises like, yeah, now go out there and get famous. But I don't know. Because I haven't read the actual rulebook in a while. I don't know how front and center they put the Satanism. And still they attack. Oh, God. All right. Oh, Henri's back, though, because... Okay, so let's get Sigrun to throw... Nope. Sorry. 3, throw... We're going to throw an Arabian fire. Did it just crash? Huh. That's disappointing. Okay. Let's let's get that rebooted real quick. What time is it? Okay. Got a little bit more time. I'm just trying to get through this fight and see how it goes. Let's get this up and running again. You know, as I was saying at one point, you know, this game is notorious for its bugs at release, and most of the time it has not been too bad in my playthroughs, except last session and this session. The last couple of sessions, I've started getting more... Let's just make sure this is the right. Is this right? There we go. And I don't actually know what was causing the crashes, but I was starting to get more and more like hard locks. Okay, I think that's where we were. Okay, again, I'm just going to go straight towards the altar. Do I attempt sabotage? I keep failing and it keeps causing me to have to go through a round of combat. Let's wait for the ceremony to begin. See what happens. Isn't northwest of Flensburg. Okay, great. Wait for the demon. Let's attack. I'm curious if it means there will be more enemies. Okay, so that's tough. You have to get through 3 rounds of combat. Okay. Interestingly enough, again, the demon from hell is not the hardest part of this fight. Here comes the first angry throng. Let's get Sigrun throwing potions. I want her to throw a Nox Aroma. Did it just crash again? No. Why? Let's get people going over here to fight. And then let's go back to Sigrun. Oop, there we go. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. I thought somebody was about to knock on the door. So I'm trying to figure out, like, did trying to sabotage it actually make a difference? Because that was nuts. It seemed like it was a lot more. So maybe by having this extra fight, it thins out the herd the second time? I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know. Did you hear my rambling about how I found it fascinating that they just sort of buried this whole quest? Tend to repeat myself, so I'm probably already said it at some point. But yeah, this is just like this, huge plot line that that they don't advertise at all, and I found that crazy. The idea, where are they going? Okay, hold on. Yeah, it's in that sense, Darklands is the original Dark Souls. Like, the Souls games will, and it's not the only game. Is there an eventual ending? The game doesn't have to end. In fact, it gets to the point where, I apologize, they're doing some road work outside if you're picking that up. The game will just keep going and going and going. Your guys might eventually age out of the quest, so to speak, and they can retire, and you can just pick up new party members and keep going. And you can just wander endlessly. The stuff that I'm doing right now is always happening. It happens a number of times. Like the clues getting you where you need to go happen a few times a year. So it's always available to stumble across and track down. But to that point, though, yeah, the game can just sort of go on forever if you want. How am I doing health-wise? Henri's beat up. Northwest of Flensburg, okay. Try to escape the spot, wait for the demon. And yeah, Matt, you're saying it looks like you have a 5th party member slot. Can you add a 5th, or are you locked in at 4? You can only have 4 that you make, but sometimes if you say go to a small village, I forget what they're called. The leader of the village is also sort of like charged with protecting the village and has like a set of armor and stuff like that. So, and also I had the opportunity to hire somebody at an inn, but basically it's an NPC you can get for certain stints of time to get extra help, but it's not a party member you can create that I know of. Okay, so I'm decent shape health-wise. Let's see if I can get through. Well, this is 2 fights, though, right? Is that the problem? Okay, so let's start with 3. Let's have some throwing going on. We're going to start with a Nox Aroma. And I think I've said this before. My understanding is that let's actually hold it. Maybe we'll have her. My understanding is that throwing is automatic. Like if you aim for a person, you hit that area. After completing the Animaniacs, after completing the main quest, it plays out an ending cutscene. But after that, yes, you can keep. I assume like you could deal with the wild hunt. I assume like the actual like messages about the Sabbat and seeking, maybe there's still witchcraft going on. But I assume trying to find this monastery, the Apocalypse or whatever it's called. I imagine that part never comes back. Yeah, here we go. So now I think what I need to do is, before we get to... so Henri's pretty hurt. My mains are doing okay. But what I'm going to do right now is, before we get too much further, I'm going to have Henri take a health potion. And Animaniac, thank you for, pointing out again that the potions mess with your armor quality, because I'm getting a good glimpse of just how badly my armor quality has dropped. Henri, Essence of Grace, potion. So one of the struggles I've had, and I think I've mentioned, one playthrough I watched of this was by game designer Josh Sawyer. And he was like, yeah, you need to get hundreds of Essence of Grace potions. So I was like, okay, that's something like a goal I could work toward. And I have just not had luck finding the formulae, or whatever formula, and the reagents. Okay. Morale's beginning to waver, but not wavered yet. So again, Sigrun, let's have you throw. I might go all in here. I'm going to throw Nox Aroma, and I might throw an Arabian Fire. 1 attack, 2 attack, 4 attack. Okay, now let's get Sigrun to throw again. Throw. There we go. Just keep throwing at that. Let's see. Sigrun. Nope. 3 throw. More Nox Aroma. All right. I guess it's time to get in the fight. was really hoping to put these minions down faster. I used to get a lot more numbers like 11, negative 11, negative 17, but... Okay, so Henri's down. That's not great. What time is it? I might... this is so frustrating. I might have to pick this up another time if I don't get through it. That's very disheartening. I just need... Okay, it's out of potions. That helps at least. I just need one person to survive, again, which is how I... Oh, you know what? I still have a healing potion, so let's go to Sigrun. I think I only used one. Equipment. Essence of Grace is going to go to Sighard. No. Well, does it heal? Yeah, let's see what happens. My fear is that it only heals green, but maybe it heals both. But yeah, when Josh Sawyer said, yeah, you want to get hundreds of these potions, I started to realize, okay, I need to focus on that. And I just haven't been able to put it together. Oh, good. It does both. Yeah. We did it. Look at that. And then it says, they're not quite dead yet. And you're like, oh, God, all right. Round 4. Let's see what we get. A lot of 15 quality, 30 quality quarterstaff, I guess. Did we do it? We're getting our bump to virtue, so I'm starting to believe we did. Healing, nice. Religion, of course, nice. Virtue, why not? Getting a lot of bumps. Finally, it is over. Many have fled, others are dying or wounded. The hard enemy is vanquished, and you know now the way to the Fortress Monastery. I feel like the Fortress Monastery is the end game. Maybe it's not. One last task remains. There upon the altar is a large book bound by a seal of red cloth. The legends say that before you may confront this ultimate evil, the seals must be broken. The tome bears the first. With the breaking of the seal, you commit yourself to the destruction of the entire witch cult. There we go. Huh. So now winter is coming. Here's the glade that we checked out before. Not sure why I'm doing this, but last time it was empty, so I'm just gonna... Okay, we need to get back to town and heal up. Oh, you know what I should do? I should save. 1623, it is. That'd be funny if I didn't save, had the game lock up. Oh, there's the town. I completely missed it. All right. So what I think I need to do is I need to figure out how to get tons of health potions, how to get money to get a couple sets of really good armor. All right. It's ruled, and we expect we'll be respected here. So again, I tend to do the same things over and over trying to get in. I try and hide up my streetwise. And let's go to the tall spires. Study... I think I have some money, so let's study Divine Favors back. Nice. Going to set up some tutoring. And I'm going to set up Studying Saints. Okay, again, you know, I don't know if it's cheap. I've got the clue book. I check out what the saints do. We got Gabriel, Isidore, Wolfgang, and Kessak. So let's start with Gabriel. Bump to intelligence, perception. The archangel and saint can sometimes clear the way of obstacles. That's interesting. Isidore is a bump to charisma, speak common, streetwise, May help with farmers and peasants, which we have, I think, some saints that do that. Let's see what Kessock does. Heals endurance, strength, bumps charisma, common, heal skill, and ride. And then last but not least, Wolfgang. Wolfgang is bumped charisma, intelligence, speed, common, ride, woodwise. I think I'm going to go with the first one. Was it Gabriel? Yeah, because it can sometimes clear ways. I'm curious what that means. So we want Henri. He's my virtue religion person. Now let's head back to the inn and let's get healed up here. Okay. Earn, regain. So we're going to lose a bit of money, but oh, that's actually not a bad amount of money. So yeah, so I think the short-term goals now are going to be getting together the cash to and the alchemy knowledge to start pumping up tons of healing potions and a couple of armor sets that are top-notch. Now let's see what Sigrun could... You don't want to do alchemy work in town. You want to set up a camp because... See, I thought I had an Essence of Grace formula, but... because when you do it, it's like a meth lab, you know? If you screw up, it'll blow up. Yeah, I thought I set up training or studying, but maybe I wasted too much time. Let's go back and see if we can get some. But yeah, Matt, to your point, you were saying like, you know, like at some point you can reconsider the composition of your party, and you can start swapping out people and just keep going on and on and on. I don't know if that changes your fame level, like when you get new people in, or if it sort of holds that over. I'm going to sell money just so I have I'm going to sell money. I'm going to sell items just so I have as much money as I can have. Okay, so his plate armor held up okay. For potential spending it on training. I know that's 20 quality, but I want better quality than that. Although it might be better quality than what I have, and I probably shouldn't have sold it. But as somebody who tends to end up walking around half naked because I sell the armor I'm actually wearing, it all feels in character. Oh, right, I got that composite bow from helping some merchants. I'm going to hold on to it, even though it's worth a lot of money, just because maybe I'll get back into taking shots. Oh, cool. Okay, Animaniac says, fame stays the same even if you get new party members. So that's good. So yeah, I mean, in that sense, you can sort of go on forever. And that was sort of a thing, I think, that... I mean, I guess modern games do it too, but I remember like playing the old Wasteland. You know, you beat the mission, and then it just says, yeah, now, you know, you can keep going if you want. Okay, I've got almost 15,000... Fenning. So let's go back to the spires and see if we can set up tutoring. And then I might have to... What time is it? Yeah, because my workday is about to start. Inquire tutoring. Okay, so let's... See, I don't know if it didn't give me the option to contribute, so I don't know... Main Street, Inn, take up residence. See what he can train. He can train religion, speak Latin, read, write. Let's have him train religion. Sigrun can train... Let's do read, write. One thing I've never figured out is, and it's something I've said, like I always get laughed out of the universities. And so I have not quite figured out. Religion's going up. Read right. So I'm never quite sure what it is that's keeping me from being taken seriously. I've been trying to bump up like my speak Latin, but maybe it's read right that's the problem. I think they're still training, but not really. Nope, they're not. Okay. All right. Let me save it real quick. Yeah, and with that, I think I'm going to have to jump off of this for a little bit. This, the backup will go up on YouTube as well. If you're interested in, if you're watching this on, Twitch, we have YouTube channel, Black Lodge Trivia Night. And yeah, take care, Matt. Thanks again. Where you can see the other parts of this play, and we do actual plays of tabletop RPGs. That's the main things. We have a couple other different things we get into. But yeah, it's all on, the YouTube channel. If you want audio versions of some of those actual plays or some of the other things we record, just search for Black Lodge Trivia Night on wherever you get your podcasts. But otherwise, really appreciate it. Hope everybody's having a good one. And yeah, take care.